So went to an estate sale today, this morning. Started today. It was a professionally run one. It was a little old house in a little old neighborhood. And you go to a lot of these, and some of the things inside the house are chipped or stained. But most of the stuff that she had was pristine condition to be the age that they are. I did film, so we're hoping to show you some of that. Now this particular company, I knew they're a little on the pricey side sometimes. They'll be doing it, this is Friday, they'll do it again Saturday. I don't know if it's half off or just to make a deal, I don't know. There's one picture in there, all the pictures they put on Facebook, there was one picture that drew me to it. It was an oval frame, and I think it was one of the last pictures I took, or the last little film I took. Was that picture. An ornate gold frame oval with the concurved glass and a little Victorian looking lady picture. I really liked the picture, but it was $40, so it stayed. I'm not even sure if I wanted to pay half price for it. There was a lot of pictures in the house that I probably would have purchased, but they were like 20 or 40 bucks. And I really have to slow down on that. Anyway, I was pleasantly surprised by some of the stuff that I did get. I had a surprise even after I got home. I'll show you that in a minute. But the first things I picked up were these little cuties. They're not marked. Both of them are the same. They were $2 a piece. They're in good shape. Everything's as is, or as it should be. Nothing looks broken or repaired. It's probably going to be a Christmas thing for sale. Like I said, I don't know. They feel like they're porcelain around the holes there. It is thin. It doesn't feel like ceramic or anything, so it's probably porcelain. Christmas, I don't know if this would have been a part of a set and this was all she had left, but I thought they were cute. And $2 a piece. So that was the first thing I picked up. The second thing was this. Now they had price lists, like hardback books were $2 and paperbacks were $1. Cookbooks, for whatever reason, was $3. This was in the kitchen, or in the little dinette area of the kitchen, the economical cookbook. And it's really cool. Has pictures of the model kitchen. You can see that there. And it has a copyright date. If I can show it, if you can see it, of 1905. 1905. And it's just full of recipes, you know. Some of them I might try. Does have all kinds of pictures in the book as well. But the cookbooks were $3. I haven't had this up. I know how much I paid at the sale. They were cash only, no cards. They're also the company that says we don't load. So if you have anybody, if you're getting anything like furniture wise, you got to bring your own movers. That was in the kitchen, $3 for that. And then there was one room. There was a table. It should have been a living room, but on one end of the room, there was a table set up, all kinds of linens, doilies, tablecloths, well, not tablecloths on that one. It was towels and wash rags, sheet sets that have never even been out of the package. And I was tempted, but the sets were like $10. And most of them were double-size bed or full-size bed. We have a queen. So even if I got them just to use, they're not the right size. And to try to sell them, I'm already paying $10 for them. And then it's kind of, I've sold some sheets and some sheets I haven't. But I picked these up thinking I would use them for myself, but I'm not quite sure. It says, and these are the old days, 42 by 38, size before hemming. I don't sew. But it does have the original price tag. And I don't know if I can get it close enough to see. It says Bloomberg's in Dothan, which is where this sale was. I don't remember any store being called Bloomberg's in Dothan. But they were $1.58 originally. And there's no barcodes. Back in the day when people put a lot of stock in their linen, I guess. And there were several. Some had flowers, some were blue, some were pink, some were orange. Still in the wrapping. I guess she had tucked them away for hard times. I don't know. But like I said, they were really, I think a sheet would have been $5. The whole set would have been 10. And these kind you would have to actually piece together. You would have to find a flat sheet and a fitted sheet and all your cases to go with it, or pillowcases. I did have one complete set, but I just couldn't pull the trigger on buying it. So I bought those, but I also got these for us to use here. Now these are just white, really soft cotton. They are in great shape. They do have a little discoloration, but they're all white, so I think I'm gonna try to bleach that out. But it has this little detail right here. It's like a little lace, or I don't know. I don't think it's needlepoint. All three of them are the same. I did get 3. I don't know if there had been a 4th one. I picked up 2 originally, and then I grabbed a 3rd one just in case. They're not stained. It looks like they have the typical little yellowing where they would have been stored in someone's closet, but that's about it. Other than that, they're in great shape. All 3, I think he charged me $1 for those 3, and I don't know, maybe $1 or $2 for the ones in the package still. And that was all the linen I got. I was thinking about it a while ago, and I thought maybe I should have gotten more, but I didn't. This I found, and I know it's in the video. I picked it up. It was in a bedroom. I think it's just beautiful. The detail on it is really, really pretty. It just reminds me of, I guess, of a 1930s, 1920s mirror or something you would have had. Of course, it has one side's regular and one side is magnified. It's only $4. So I thought it was pretty reasonable for a mirror like that. It's really pretty. This will go somewhere in the house. Not for sale unless somebody says they really want it. They had a shed out back. They had stuff under the car porch out back, or the porch. They had stuff in the garage. And then a lot of old toys in the garage, you know, Barbie stuff. I looked at it briefly. I didn't get into it a lot. They had all their cash registers and all set up out there. I didn't spend a lot of time there. But they had a shed out back. So I had seen in the pictures there was a lot of interesting stuff out there. And you'll see in the video, just a side note, because I do can a lot. We do garden, and we do go to a lot of U-picks, so I can a lot. I've been blessed to be given a lot of my jars for free. Jason's aunt knew a lady who is getting out of canning, and instead of throwing them away, she gave them to her, and then she gave them to me. I've got boxes of them in our shed. I've got boxes of them in our house. I've bought jars in the past, but there's one thing: don't ever go to a thrift store and think you're getting a great deal when you find a jar for $2. I was in Rural King today having to buy some, piddly stuff for the house. And they have ball jars. A case of pint ball jars was $12. That's $1 a jar. And you get a brand new ring and a brand new lid. But this is another point. I did not ask how much the jars were because I don't need them. I didn't ask. But if you go to estate sales like this and you see that, ask them how much. If we can make a box and see how much you can get. Sometimes they're really reasonable, really cheap. So it beats going to a thrift store and buying them for $2 a jar, believe me. But this lady was a canner, and there was a lot of stuff out in the shed. I saw these, and I thought, I don't think I want to get them because of the price. But I think it was on the second trip when I went back out there, I just talked myself into it. And it was a surprise because I didn't realize on the price tag, it says $15 for the pair. Now, I've never seen one of these Crocs like this. I've got brown Crocs like this. I've got one on the counter now. It doesn't have the metal piece. And I've got a couple of smaller ones that are in my fall decoration boxes out in the shed that I use around fall. Anyway, $15 for the pair. I've never seen one this size. And I kept thinking, well, maybe I can store salt, sugar, whatever. This one is pretty clean. I don't know if it was never used for whatever it was intended for. It's very, very clean. Good shape. And then the other one is where the surprise is. The fittings fit perfectly with these things. But $15 for the pair. I picked these up. I carried them around. I carried them out to the front. I said, if you got a hole in the table, sure, here it is. Put them down. I shopped a little more, came back. I had my arms full, so I had to make 2 trips to the car. And came back, got these, got them in the car. Never once suspected. When I got home and I was taking them out, I heard, and I said, well, something's in there. And I looked, it's got the little one, a little bitty one. And the rubber grommet for this one, which is really been out of shape. But this one is little. I don't have one this small. Now it has some stuff in it, like wax. And inside the house, she had canning wax. So I don't know if this might have been something like canning wax. I've tried to get it out. I think I'm gonna have to put it in boiling water to get it out. But yeah, $15 for the pair, and I wound up with 3. So, nice find. I also got something in the shed. Now, I would not have, there were some things I wasn't gonna pay $20 for myself. But I saw this picture. My nephew's been asking me about going to estate sales. You know, if you go and you see something, would you pick me up something? Would you pick me up this? Which is a big black and white photo. He wants to put them on his wall in his office. Now this frame is not the best. It is, the matting is not good. You can hear the glass rattle a little bit. It looks like it's held together with hopes and prayers. And it still has this metal wire on the back. But the picture itself says Lincoln Motor Company. It's even got a Ford sign over here. And you can see the garage bays in the back, so I'm guessing this up front would have been their showrooms. Yeah, you can see the lights of the old cars inside. There's the lights. And back here would be the garage bays. So I thought it was cool. 20 bucks was, and this was out in the shed. When I checked out, the guy says, I didn't think that one would last long. And it didn't. I took it with me. I bought it for my nephew. We'll see if he gets it. So that and that in the shed. Now, I looked on a top rung of the shed and I saw these. And there was a little guy out there and I said, are those for sale? He said, yeah. I'm a pretty tall person. I couldn't reach him. He was shorter than me. He said, oh, I'll get him. So he drags over this fishing toolbox and stands on it and couldn't get it. So he gets up on top of, I think it was a washing machine or a freezer or something that was there. He got up on top of that to reach up and get them. And I'm glad he priced them the way he did, because I would have really felt bad if he went through all that trouble and then said 10 bucks and I said, no way. But he said $1 for all 3. And he wrote it on the little tag here. $1 for all. They're little shoe shine brooms. Now my husband was in the military. He has his own bag of things that keep boots buffed. This one is in pretty bad shape. You can see the bristles are kind of fanned out. This one's pretty good. Now these are probably going to be for decoration. And if I don't have them for decoration, then use them for cleaning something. But I thought that was cute, really cute brush. But $1 for all of them. And watching that guy work his butt off to get them. Then I went back inside, because of course you always go through it multiple times. Outside under the car porch again, there was, I looked, really didn't find anything I wanted. But I saw, because I had platters and plates and all stacked up. I saw this one and I kept debating with myself, do I really need another platter? And I would have been happier had they had $1 on it instead of $2. But, you know, you got to take what you can. So this was $2. And I've never seen this particular Maker's Mark. It's called Kent, the SPCA or the SP something. It does have, you know, chips. I have not washed any of this, so it is filthy. But it's got staining here. It'll be for, of course, just decoration. But I like the fact that right around the edge, there's the dots that you can easily see, but there's like scroll work here. It's really delicate. And I'll find something to use it for. Either go back here where all the other platters are, or it'll be, you know, in a bathroom with something sitting on it. Inside, the last thing I think I haven't shown you the clock. The last thing I did pick up was not the clock, but this. It didn't have a price on it. It had a tape on it, but didn't have a price written on it. So I grabbed the lady and she said, oh, it's gonna be $2 whenever I find my pin. I probably should have said no. And I don't know why all of these are made in Italy, but everyone must have bought this stuff. I think the last haul I did, I had some that was made in Italy, and this one is too. It's a little picture. I know I keep telling myself, no more, no more, no more, but here we are. It's a little scene there, a little romantic scene. And on the back, it says right here, made in Italy, and then some kind of price tag. I don't know, $10.50. I don't know who would pay $10.50 for this, but hey, still got a hanger. I like that. Now the last thing that I'm going to show you, I think I picked up before that. I looked at it in the kitchen when I first walked in, and I just kept going, but I talked myself into buying it before I left. It is a clock. It's an old plug-in clock, and I don't know if you've ever seen plug-ins like this. Look at that. They look like they're aluminum, and there's the holes, and most of the plugs that you see now have holes. These don't. They're filled in. I did plug it into a wall socket there in the kitchen just to make sure it worked, and it did. It is a Timex wall clock, plug-in wall clock. Do you remember the old days before they were battery operated? It is Timex. You can see on the back it still has its little Timex warning labels or whatever, and of course where you change the time. It's dirty, has to be cleaned, but it does work, and that will be for sale as well, as long with the little things here. And I think that's all I got. I paid $65 between the brown Crocs and the picture. That was $35. So yeah, this and this would have been 10 more, 14, 16, 18, 21, 22, 23, 24, somewhere. And taxes. They do charge taxes. Even though they don't take card, they do charge taxes. Anyway, I stopped at a thrift store on the way. I had to go to Rural King to pick up a few things. Then I dropped it off at a thrift store because I was looking for some project pieces. And I got 3 things. This is, I believe it's one of those little tobacco jars. Narrow opening at the top. It was $2 at the thrift store. And this is one of those places they don't charge the taxes. It's a rescue, a thrift store. So $2 for that. Probably go up for fall. And then someone had donated an entire collection of ducks, something else, lighthouses. Oh, and the wood life, the little figurines that look like they've been carved out of wood. Whole collections. But anyway, they had ducks, and I thought this is the closest I'm going to get to a project piece. In there, I had a bunny rabbit on a stack of books next to the bed. And of course, Easter's over, so I have to take it down. So I was looking for something else to repaint and put there in its place. And I had to settle for a duck. There's nothing special about him. I'm sure he says made in China underneath his little tag there. It's $2 for him. They had a couple of his 2 pair of ducks that were smaller, and they were cute. They were already black and gray. $2 a piece. I left those. And then there were some that just had, their backs came off and it made them a little trinket dish or something. I wasn't interested. But this one is going to be a project piece. He's going to get painted. And then I got this. It was the last thing. Well, I went back through all the little knickknacks and trinkets, the little ducks. And, I don't usually buy angels, but I did on this one. I kept testing it out just to make sure it wouldn't fall over because it does feel top heavy, but it did keep sitting on the shelf. It says Vigor on the back, on the bottom. I don't know if it's a mold maker or what, but it is a cute little cherub. And at his feet, there is a squirrel, and it looks like the squirrel is eating strawberries. And he's got a basket of the fruit on his head and his little wings. And of course, somebody got smart and put $1 on his little tushy. But he's also probably going to be painted. So those are the 2 project bees. Spent $5 at the restore, $65 at the yard sale, and another $5 at the restore for $70 today. A little more than what I like, but couldn't pass up some of it. And like I said, we did film. So hopefully we'll get that up and you'll see it. And I think that's going to be it for this week. I hope this is a short enough video to make my husband happy. And glad you could come back. Thank you from South Georgia Home.